Hello all, welcome again to Writing 110 CO, High School Academy at Post University. I'm Professor Dressel, and I'm very excited to be your instructor for this module. We have a lot of things to talk about this week, which is why I decided to do a video instead of trying to type it all out. So let's get started, shall we? Please forgive me for looking down, but I have to look at my computer, and of course I can't do anything without my glasses. Sorry. All right, so the first thing you need to do, and I've said this in other announcements, is you need to know what your assignments are this week. It is always a great idea to do this thing I love called backwards mapping, where you know what is expected of you by the end of the week so that you can portion out your time during the course of the week. One of the things that I know that you probably struggle with a lot is organization and time management. A lot of adults struggle with it as well. As you get older, you're going to wind up with a lot more things on your plate too. So it's a great idea to figure out at this point in time how you're going to be a student, on top of an athlete, on top of a worker, on top of a daughter, son, whatever. So it is a difficult task to figure out where and when to situate your assignments so that you get them done properly and successfully. First thing you want to do is you want to look at your discussion board. As you know, your initial response to your discussion board is due by Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. and your two peer responses are due by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Your discussion board this week builds on last week, which asked you to use sensory imagery to introduce yourself, and also it is a building stepping stone to your descriptive writing essay, which is due at the end of this week. The first thing it asks you to do is think about your ideal vacation. Think about what your ideal vacation would be. And that's what it's asking you to do. Think. For me, one of my favorite pre-writing activities is simply to think. I can think for weeks about what I'm going to say or what I'm going to write before I do it. Not all pre-writing has to be something that's written down. Sometimes it's a thought process. So think about what your ideal vacation would be. I certainly know what mine would be. So think about what your ideal vacation would be. Describe this vacation using all five senses. And that is where some of you dropped the ball a little bit. On the last discussion board, you were supposed to use sensory imagery in your story about yourself and the adjectives that described who you were. Keep in mind that that's part of the task. As we go along in the weeks, in this course, I will be getting just a little more stringent about how I grade and how I'm holding you to the tasks, okay? So if you're going to break down the tasks for this, as I modeled in the announcement from a few days ago, you would be thinking first, you would be using all five senses. My suggestion is pre-write this. Put it down in a Word document, put the senses, the five senses, and what about your ideal vacation you're hearing? Are you hearing the sand and the surf? Are you smelling things that are, part of a particular country? For me, it would be Italy. So, am I smelling Italian cooking? Am I hearing the sounds of the street? Am I tasting particular foods? Am I touching sand beneath my fingers or snow? Is it cold in your ideal vacation? So you are going to use sensory imagery. This is not a quick assignment for the discussion board this time because it says that it should be in at least one paragraph. If you're writing about all five senses, I'm sensing it's going to be a little longer than that. In your two response posts, it asks you to do a number of things. I'm not going to go over it with you because you've got to figure out your own tasks. So look at what your response posts will have. Again, I'm going to be a little stricter about grading as each week progresses, so make sure you have all those components in that discussion board assignment. I'm also going to ask you to take a look at your essay assignment. It is at the bottom of the page. It says Unit 2 Assignment, Descriptive Writing, and there is a link in blue that says Descriptive Writing Assignment. It is asking you to choose from five topics that you feel have influenced you in some way, that you have been a part of. That may be an older sibling, a parent, someone you know has been a part of. Maybe there's a news story that greatly affected you and you want to write about it. The topics are social networking, Vaccines for Children, The Western Diet, The American Dream, and Gap Year After School. Some of you might even have to begin with a little bit of research so that you're solid on what those topics are. But please make sure you read through the entire assignment page and break down the task so that you are sure that you're meeting the task and the purpose. I am the audience in this particular essay, so you are writing to me. After you have looked over what your assignments are, please make sure you go back to the unit page and start at the top. Topic number 1 is descriptive writing. I would look through the links, the written links and the video links. I would view the video links under Unit 1 before you do your discussion board. It talks about descriptive writing in simple terms. It talks about how to become a descriptive writer, and it gives you an example of descriptive writing. Please make sure that you view all those videos and read all those readings. One thing about an online course, as with any course when you're in college, high school, is you have to be a self-directed learner. You have to take it upon yourself to say, well, I know the end result is the assignment, but I really should be supplementing my knowledge and learning how to do it. No one wants a doctor who hasn't read that medical book, right? Okay, so then you can move on to Unit 2, which is active and passive voice, and Unit 3, which talks about run-on sentences and sentence fragments, which a few of you had a little bit of trouble with in your discussion boards. So these are some really good links for you to take a look at before you start your writing again. So take a look at all on Unit 2. Again, start with the assignments, knowing what the assignments are, backwards map by viewing all your videos and by reading all your links. Make sure your work is in on time, your discussion board post by Wednesday, your others by Sunday, and your essay by Sunday. As always, I am available by email. And I check my email all the time, so I answer it pretty quickly. And I wish you great luck and success in this class. And I really want you to learn how to be a strong writer. I truly believe that people who write well and people who speak well rule their world. And of all the professions that you told me you were going into, none of you are going into anything does not require you to speak well and write well. So use this as a great learning opportunity. And remember that I'm here for you. Have a great day. Bye.